Welcome to part 3 of the build log, guys. So this is where I'm at so far, and I'm very sorry for the swinging light. I just got the front brakes bled, so now I have lovely front brakes from these terrible eBay levers. Everything's on. I just finished fixing a coolant leak, and that's why there's all the kitty litter on the ground. Turns out I didn't have one of the hoses tight, and I filled it up. Next thing I know, there's a puddle on the floor. And also in part 3, I'm going to go over some of the electrical stuff. Now, all the electronics are under the seat. Now, you can see here, this is my ignition switch, which isn't completely ran yet. There will be more. I have proper connectors coming in, and I have hook loop tape that's somewhat holding this on right now. Everything will be put up properly and out of the way, and you know, just proper. I have a kill switch. It's connected for the most part. The wire right here, I need to connect that to any ground I can find. I actually need to ground the engine to the frame, and then have all that hullabaloo done. Also, I'm gonna go over the switch. The green and yellow wire close when it's turned on for the first time, so that lets the CDI have power. So when this is turned on, the CDI can get power when you kick it. The two blue wires, one of them is ran up for the headlight, which I'll get into that in a minute, and the other one goes up to this button, which I don't have the key and it's not turned on, is for the horn. This white wire running all the way down is the constant positive, just connects to the battery that's in this bag. I've used this bag before on one of my other dirt bikes, mostly my XR, and it seems to work just fine. I've actually carried things heavier than that little battery in it, and I haven't had any issues. The chain still needs to be adjusted, but oh well, it's on there. I made my rear fender, which I believe in part 1 it was. I had a scooter fender that, you know, I wasn't going to use, so I cut the flap off and drilled 2 holes in it, and then when the seat goes on, all 3 of these bolt up at the exact same time, and it bolts the seat on to one side because not the other one, and then, you know, this is on there. It does move. I think I might drill another hole and put it in so it doesn't move as much, but it's good enough. The rear tail light I'm getting is going to sit up under it. I'll figure that out when it gets here and you guys will see that. This cross section right here, I'm going to be making a little bracket to hopefully hold these little fuse boxes. I have more than these, but they're going to be sitting up here or under here, along with the flasher relays and a couple other things. I also have on these levers on both, they have the thing for a brake switch, which this one is going to be used, and I'll run that down in probably parallel with the one I'm getting for the rear foot brake. So either time I either hit that or the one down there, brake will the brake light will be brighter. Ooh, excuse my voice, guys. Headlight and constant rear tail light, not the brake light, but the rear light, will be on when the key is turned on to lights, which I know this already works, and oh, well, that came loose. I'll fix that later. I have turn signals coming for the front. I've decided to make little brackets that are going to connect to here, come out, over, and then they'll sit roughly where my thumb is, so you guys understand how it's going to be. So there's that. The horn button does work. The front brakes do work. Throttle somewhat works. The clutch. Now this is actually where I need someone's help. The bike is currently stuck in gear, and if I try to roll it, you know, the engine turns over. Now if I pull in this, and give me a moment. Now if I try to roll this bike, the engine still turns over. And it is all the way in, fully adjusted. And now you can also see that's as far as I can pull the clutch. There's no more adjustment. But now if I kick the bike over, if I don't fall in the process, the bike holds still. So I don't know what that's about, and I just bent that, which, oops, cheap Chinese aluminum. But I mean, if anyone understands that, please let me know. This is for the horn. Again, if anyone says something about the wiring, I've already said that I have the correct connectors coming. And they're waterproof, so there we go. Also, I thought I'd tell you about a little dilemma I had with the front brakes. The front brake, excuse me. When I originally tried to bleed the front brakes, I couldn't get any pressure. There was nothing coming through the lines. There's nothing. So what I did was I pulled this lovely, lovely terrible caliper off. And the second I pulled that banjo bolt out, mud came out of it. And I mean thick, brown, terrible mud. And I was like, alright. So I pulled it apart, cleaned the inside, and the dust seal doesn't fit anymore. What ended up happening was that the last person that used this bike didn't use brake fluid in it. And it leaked out through the seal and caused the dust cover to expand. Well, I couldn't get it back in. So right now I have it replaced with an O-ring. And every time I ride it, I'll just hose it out. It's just a minor inconvenience. Not really worried about it. It's going to be an enduro/drag bike anyway. So I have front brakes now. They work. It'll lock the front wheel up, no problem. The rear brake works fine. That's all good. The carburetor, I still don't have a air filter for it, which kind of sucks, and I need one. And I can't use the stock air box from the RM because it doesn't fit the KX carb. Now, quick question to any of you guys, because I know y'all are pretty smart. What size pod filter can I put on that? It's an 84 KX engine, an 84 KX 125 engine, and it's a Mikuni carb, 44 millimeter here. I'm not sure what the size is there. If you guys know, please let me know. The rear shock is completely blown. I'm not really worried about it, but I'm going to adjust this coil all the way down as far as I can and try to stiffen it up, because I'm 280 some pounds and it kind of drops kind of quick with me on it. Actually, no, I'm 260, but I haven't weighed myself in like 4 months, so, but I did lose weight. It's just blown. It doesn't hold air. I put air in it and nothing happens. So I'll adjust that. The front ones are fine. They're full of water, which, or I guess it's oil. It's kind of brown. So those leak a little bit. I mean, if you put air in them, they stiffen up. So I'm assuming that's fine. Yeah, that's about it right now. This is just a little update for part 3. I did top off the radiator, which I haven't ran this bike yet, so we'll see how well that holds after I start running it. Because currently I don't have the expansion pipe, which kind of sucks. But I do have over here the RM80 pipe for this. And if I stick that right there, you can kind of tell that it doesn't fit the bike. It tries to, but it doesn't. So I have the correct pipe coming, or now it's kind of stuck. But you'll understand how it would look, and that's in it properly. So I can't really use this. I'm gonna wait for the actual pipe to come in, and now it won't come out of its hole. There we go. I'll just wait for the real pipe, and I'll go about it wherever I can. And some little information on the bike. Aftermarket, believed to be Boys and Reeds, maybe. There's 4 reeds. It has a brand new bottom end, brand new top end. Oh, I just put a piston in it. Yeah, it's bored out to a 131. I don't know what the horsepower would be on it. If you guys know, let me know. But for now, I guess I'll see y'all. Stay happy, keep riding, and have a whole lot of fun.